Carrie, you want to take a roll call?
Robert DePalma,
I'm here.
Patty Back,
Here.
David Axe,
Here.
Jim Christopher,
Here.
Dale Casey.
Here, we're all here. So everybody received a copy of the agenda for tonight, and if so, there's one item we have to add under unfinished business. Dave wants to discuss slight modification to the contract for the new phone service. When we get there under new business, has anyone else got anything that they want to address for the new agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as modified.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. I think I agree, I'm not sure.
I think I was just.
Oh, I said I wasn't going to make any motion.
Yeah, no, I was going to remind you.
Any questions or comments from the board, any from the audience? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and then we need to approve the agenda for the regular board meeting of November the 13th, as well as the fire board meeting.
The minutes.
The minutes, I'm sorry, that's okay, I apologize.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
Yeah. Second.
Okay, any other questions or comments from the board?
Got to keep the meeting.
Any from the audience? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Next item is under financials, budget amendments. Okay, I think we've got some you wanted to...
Yeah, we do have a couple of budget amendments. We have a few, actually. Yeah, there were none in 206, but 101 did have quite a few. The computers and Icon, we moved 14,000 into that item. Road maintenance chloride and the road maintenance gravel, we moved 20,000 into that line item. The youth assistance, it was moved for the extra 1,000 we gave each, Holly and Brandon. And legal notices and publications, we moved 2,500 into it. Office, the non-pension office supplies, we moved 2,000 into there. We also, that takes us to 40,000, I don't have the exact figure because I figured in something else along with it. I apologize for that.
We're going to take it out of capital.
It's going to come out of capital outlay reserve, 101, 901, 975, 000. And the total of that is $40,400 from capital outlay reserve into the line items I mentioned.
Second.
Any other questions or comments from the board? Any from the audience? Okay, if not, would you take a roll call on, Carrie?
Patty Back,
Yes.
Dave Axe,
Yes.
Jim Christopher,
Yes.
Dale Casey,
Yes.
Bob DePalma.
Yes. Okay, Patty, you want to cover the accounts payable?
Yep. Accounts payable in Township 101 was $42,661.78. 249, which is the building, the amount was $1,430.44. And 701 was $540, and that was a total of $44,632.22 for the general fund. And the fire fund was $34,062.73 out of 206.
Okay. Second to that?
We're second.
Okay.
You seconded, Dave?
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions or comments from the board? No. Any from the audience? Okay, Carrie, would you take a roll call?
Who made that motion?
Patty,
Yeah.
I think, made it, and Dave seconded.
Dave Axe,
Yes.
Jim Christopher,
Yes.
Dale Casey,
Yes.
Bob DePalma,
Yes.
Patty Back.
Yes.
Okay. Dave, do you want to do anything for financial reports this month?
I moved some money out of the 101, 249 checking for 249 into a new savings account, so they can earn some interest on some of the money until it comes time to need it.
Okay.
Other than that, we've been everybody's got the revenue expenditure report, so.
Okay. Anybody have any questions now? Board? Okay. Okay, that doesn't require a motion. Investment report, anything you want to do there? I know we got a copy of a report from you here.
Now we're continuing to get good money on CDs, so
Okay.
that's still what I'm doing, is looking for the best rates for CDs and trying to keep track of when they're payable, and get them into something else.
You've done a good job on tracking all those banks too. I appreciate that. Okay, any questions on the financial report? All right, we have nothing under public hearings. We have nothing under presentations today. Under unfinished business, we have a modification that Dave wants to talk about on the contract for the phone service.
Okay, on the minutes from when we read the minutes and approved them, the amount that was in the minutes from last month's meeting, was $4,418, and we need to have $4,615.50 for a one-time cost to cover the additional parts that were needed. And at the meeting, I wasn't totally sure.
That's that switch and stuff we had to
That was the switch that we had to get. And also, the new contract does do a 1 year over a 5-year term. So each year, the board will need to review and approve the contract for another year's service at the monthly rate of $205.14. So I would like a motion to approve an increase from the $4,400 up to $4,615.50, which will go into the line item of the phones and computers. Well, it doesn't actually say phones, but it's just for the record to get Carrie so she can do the right line item. It's 101-265-940-000. And that's coming out of capital outlay 101-901-970-000.
Is that your motion?
That's my motion.
Is there a second to the motion? By Dale? Okay, any other questions or comments from the board? Any from the audience? Okay, Carrie, take a roll call.
Jim Christopher,
Yes.
Dale Cason,
Yes.
Bob DePalma,
Yes.
Patty Back,
Yes.
Dave Atkinson.
Yes.
Okay, now we're going to move to new business. And the first item on the agenda under new business is discuss appointing the interim township treasurer. I know we've had some discussions in the office, so do you want to handle it?
Yes, I've gotten 3 applications for treasurer position. And by far Shelley is the most qualified and best for the job. She's received her Michigan Certified Professional Treasurer designation. She's mastered the tax database, so she knows how to distribute money and balance. She's a great team player, and I think she'd do a wonderful job as treasurer. And when I retire January 31, I would like the board to approve Shelley as an interim treasurer until the next election.
As of February 1.
As of February 1.
Okay, take a motion.
That's my motion.
Okay, I'll second the motion. Is there any questions or comments from the board? Any from the audience? Okay, no, it's not money, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next item on here is to discuss hiring an office administrator position to really to backfill Shelley's position, so she has somebody to help her when she moves into the treasurer's position. And Dave, I know we interviewed several people. You want to go over that?
Sure. We interviewed 3 people. We had 5 applicants, 2 of which didn't meet my minimum, what I was looking for, so we interviewed 3 people. And Gail Carpenter is a resident that had a really good application, a good resume. And the most important thing for me is when I call people that's not on the reference list that I know, to get an honest to goodness answer, and I won't divulge in public who that person was, but Gail's been employed since '95, doing work for Brandon Schools and the library, and has done an outstanding job there. And she's knowledgeable with computers. She has attention to detail, which is most needed in the treasury side of it when we're dealing with numbers. She stands up for what she believes in, not argumentative, but she will try to persuade you to listen to her if she has an opinion that's different than yours, which is something that's really good in an office. And when I'm gone and Shelley's moving into my position, she's going to need somebody that's trained in taxes, in BSNA software. Gail's knowledge of computers will help learning a new software. And I'd be real happy if the board would hire and appoint Gail Carpenter as a new office administrator. And at a later meeting, should Shelley wish, there's the deputy treasurer position that the new treasurer has the right by state law to name who they would like as treasurer or deputy treasurer. I can't do that. So I would make a recommendation that Gail Carpenter be hired as an office administrator level 1.
Is there a second to that? Okay.
And the effective date would be starting tomorrow.
Just in case you want. Is there any other questions or comments from the board? Gail, do you have any questions?
No, I'm just so excited and thankful for this opportunity, and I'll spend the night if you want.
It's okay. Don't do that, because when we close up, it turns the alarm off. I mean on, so.
Oh, I have an employee manual you can spend the night with. I printed it yesterday, so I'll be sure to have it.
Is there a test in the morning on that?
No.
Okay. If there are any other questions or comments? Okay, if not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay.
Who seconded that? Thank you.
Well, maybe.
No,
maybe
you
we better
seconded.
take a- Yeah, I did, but maybe we better take a roll call, because there's
Salary.
salary involved.
There is salary.
Yeah,
And
I'm sorry.
there was salary with Shelley's too.
It's not any new salary, though. It takes over.
It's not a new salary.
Yeah.
It's taking my salary.
If you want, we'll make a
I don't
motion.
care.
Yeah, if you want, just to be safe, we can make a motion for both. I don't really think we have to, but let's make a motion that when Shelley moves to the treasurer's position, she gets the treasurer's pay and benefits.
Benefits.
Is there a second to that?
Second.
Jim? Okay, any other questions or comments from the board? Any from the audience? Carrie, if you take a roll call, just to be safe.
Is the roll call for both, or?
No,
Just for the one.
That's
We're
for
doing
Shelley.
separate, just to be safe.
Okay,
We're backtracking.
okay, who made that motion?
I did.
And who seconded that one?
Jim.
Okay.
That's
Dale
what we need.
Kaysen,
Yes.
Bob DePalma,
Yes.
Patty Back,
Yes.
Dave Ack.
Yes.
Jim Christopher.
Yes.
Okay, now we need another motion to do.
And now we need the motion for Gail, because there's the salary of 24,000, and then there's some help stipend and
And the benefits of.
the benefit package that goes with the office administrator position. Just money.
Is there a second to that?
Second.
Dale? Okay, any other questions or comments from the board? Any from the audience? Okay, Carrie, if you take a roll call on that too, just so we're absolutely clear.
Bob DePalma,
Yes.
Patty Back,
Yes.
Dave Ack,
Yes.
Jim Christopher.
Yes.
Dale Kaysen.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is discuss reappointing Jenny Sevigny to both the BZA and the Planning Commission. Patty gave me the updated official list of when everybody's on the different boards and that, and there's a couple of things we have to take care of tonight. And so the first one I'd like to, and I contacted Jenny, she's certainly willing to continue to be the chair of the Planning Commission and the BZA. I think she does a wonderful job. And so I would like to recommend that she be reappointed for the next 4-year term.
I motion to appoint Jenny Sevigny to the BZA and Planning Commission as chairs for the next 4 years.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Any from the audience? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Next item is again, another item we have to clear up, and thank you, Jim, for reminding me, but because he's now the trustee, he can't actually sit on the tax appeal board, and he's done a very nice job on that for us for several years. So we have to put somebody new on the tax board to replace Jim. And I would like to suggest, you should have his resume here, Neil Laughlin. I had some discussions with him before the end of the year. He was interested in getting involved in the township. I believe he's a retired Chrysler engineer, and he seemed to be very competent. He wanted to get involved, and I like putting people on the tax appeal board first because it's kind of an easy way to get used to seeing how they work with some of the other township stuff and give them a little bit of background understanding about how taxes work and what you can and can't do. So my recommendation is for Neil Laughlin, and I know I discussed this earlier in case something came up with Pam, and she was supportive of it, but I'm open to any comments from the board.
I've reviewed his credentials. I think he'll be fine.
He helps us on the election board, he does a good job.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Okay, any other questions or comments from the board? Any from the audience? Okay, if not, take a roll call on it just to be safe. Because they get paid a stipend when they attend the meetings.
Patty Back,
Yes.
Dave Axe.
Yes.
Jim Christopher.
Yes.
Dale Cason.
Yes.
Bob DePalma.
Yes. And would you do me a favor tomorrow, in case I forget, just send Neil an email. And you've got the, maybe it'd be better if you do it, because you've been setting up the tax appeal meetings. If you would send them the email and let them know, I told them we were going to do it today. And then send them the dates or anything you've got so far for the tax appeals, okay? Because we got one, I think, tomorrow afternoon.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Next item is to discuss Z2018-002 rezoning request. And you should have a copy of the draft minutes from the Planning Commission meeting of November 27th. I don't think this is any surprise to everybody. This is for the property that the township sold to Barry Mass. I don't know, what is it, about 7, 8 years ago now? I don't know, something like 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I had my garbage truck in the yard, and have Groveland recycling, but
This
they got
is
a lot of dust.
for the property that's located behind Consumers Power and Tri-City Aggregates. It's that about 42 acres, 41 or 2 acres we sold some years ago. And Barry's plan is to put a recycling facility up there. And it's going to take basically construction materials. So things like concrete will be busted into what they call wrap. Shingles get ground up and sent to somebody that makes asphalt. The wood gets ground up and used for mulch. And it's that type of recycling facility. And one of the things he is planning to do in his site plan is to put a whole row of bins along what would be the east side of the property line. That's closest to the back side of Tri-City there, and allow for different kinds of recycling. He said that, you know, you can't really make any money like recycling light bulbs or cardboard, but if you get enough of it, a whole dumpster full, it's at least worth taking care of. So he wants to be able to do, besides the building materials, let folks deposit stuff that, like plastics and glass and all that kind of stuff in there. And he submitted the rezoning request, and I think we delayed it from the first meeting because Barry's mother passed away just recently, and then Denita, his wife's mother, came very close to passing away right after that, but she's doing fine now. So he wasn't able to attend the meeting, so we delayed the rezoning request to the Planning Commission's last meeting, and Ben recommended it, as you can see from the minutes here. The site plan itself for the facility is going to be on the next PC meeting, which is, I think, that's January, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah, and I talked to Barry about it, so he's going to try and make that one, because he's kind of getting caught up. So this rezoning request is to go through with what we've talked about for a long time here in the property that we sold to Barry Bass for the recycling facility, and it's to change the zoning on it from E1, which is extractive, which is the most intense zoning in the township, to I2, which is the industrial zoning that would allow for the outside storage or whatever is processing through there. So if you have any questions, I think the minutes pretty well cover it. But
Make a motion to approve Z2018-002 for the rezoning from E1 to I2.
is there a second? Sorry. Okay, by Dale, any other questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the audience? Okay, Carrie, would you take a roll call on?
Dave Axe.
Yes.
Jim Christopher.
Yes.
Dale Cason.
Yes.
Bob DiPalma.
Yes.
Patty Bax.
Yes.
And the next item is, Kathy, this one's yours, right, community development.
CDBG.
Near and dear, right?
Yeah, near and dear. Couple of clarifications, and was, at the time of the last meeting, I didn't have the actual amount of what we were going to be given to you. So, CDBG funds for the program year 2019 are in the amount of $14,893. At the last meeting, we there was a motion to support mobile home repair, rehab, single unit in the amount of $11,393. That's the new amount since we found out the funds. The other one, public services were discussed, but nothing was actually motioned on for public services. So with public services, you could go with battered and abused, public services, emergency services. Yeah, they're looking through those. Public services, emergency services is one that we haven't done for a while, so I would suggest we go with public services, emergency services. That would be the amount of $3,500. Of course, that's up to the board to make that decision. If anybody else has another idea, you're welcome to.
I think you did a terrific job, Patty. And I would make a motion
trying to
that we
cover it all.
approve resolution 2018-15.
Will that do it?
I think that'll
Is
do
there a
it.
second to that?
That'll do it.
Is there a second to it?
I'll second.
Jim? Okay, any other questions or comments from the board? Any from the audience? Okay, Carrie, if you take a roll call on that.
Jim Christopher.
Yes.
Dale Cason.
Yes.
Bob DiPalma.
Yes.
Patty Bax.
Yes.
Dave Axe.
Yes.
Okay, next item on the agenda is discuss the 911 dispatch contract, and Dave, you brought up a good point that I didn't notice in the text originally,
Here it is.
and I got these two afterwards. On the dollar amounts and the date that they were starting on the fee for the dispatch.
Paragraph 12.
Oh, this is the, no, I got the no hands on mixed up with sheet. I unstapled this.
I know, we
think I
did.
put them in backwards when I reshuffled it. Hold on, just a second.
Do you have the contract?
As you can see, the no-hands contract is about 12 times the size of the other one. Okay. On page 3, there's a reference to the start date, and what happened is there was a captain at the Oakland County Sheriff that does the contracts for 911, and before Steve left, we discussed the fact that when the village left, we would be having significantly fewer calls because the village was about 45% of the runs. And we weren't going to, I told them I wasn't signing a contract that had the same number of calls that we had when we were doing the village. So after a lot of discussions, they said, yeah, okay, you're right. And I know since then, is it Minor or Miller, his name is?
No.
Mel Mayer. Said that, yeah, we checked and the calls are about what you said they were. And so they put together a contract for it. And like I said at the last meeting, I don't know if people realize this, but when you call 911, we hope you only call when it's a real emergency because we pay over $30 for every one of those calls to get from the 911 center to the fire department. So if you call and say, I was just wondering, can I burn today? And you call 911 to find out, that just costs the township over $30. But these contracts, and Kevin's looked at it, and we agree these numbers are consistent with what we had worked out with the captain before he retired and apparently forgot to give it to anybody. So the contract never actually got to us until just the other day. The only comment I have is, and Dave noticed this, that the contract had the rates as of April, which was what originally I think Steve's retirement date was going to be at one time. And we never actually took it over till June 15th. So I think the rates are correct, based on what we discussed with him and what we talked about before. But I think tomorrow morning when I stop by, maybe we'll call Mel and just tell him, do you want us to scratch out the dates before June 15th? Because Kevin, after you and I talked, Kevin said, yeah, but Bobby, you gave me the first bill when he came in and it didn't start until June 15th. So we got billed correctly to this contract based on what we discussed with them. It's just they left the original dates from the date they thought he was going to retire in here. And I'm guessing we could probably line that out initially if he doesn't have a problem tomorrow. So I would, if everybody's agreeable, I would like a motion to approve the contract as submitted with some notation to the county and discussion that the contract actually took effect on July the 15th.
June 15th.
No,
It's June 16th, really.
no. Steve actually left on July the 15th, so it takes effect July 16th. That was actually his last day because he changed it a couple of times. He was going to leave in October, then he was going to leave in April, then he was going to leave maybe in June, I don't know, and it ended up July 15th is when he actually left. So we're going to have to make a notation here that that's when we actually start paying, which matches the bill we got.
And we,
I'm almost ready to support. There's one more notation. Just bear with me a minute. I have my red flag page.
Okay.
There's one more red flag. This is in the May 17, 2018 fiscal notes. That's the commissioners.
Yeah, I
Made
looked at
their
that
notes.
originally, but that looks like an internal document that they use to justify what they're doing for the way they spread the billing inside this.
Well,
That doesn't, I don't think, have any real direct relation to what we pay. It's a motion.
A fraction of that does, and because we're amending the beginning part, it's just noting that the general fund distribution at the county may be slightly different because of the start date
Yeah,
difference.
I think what'll happen though is
No.
when they fix the date on ours to match it, because that's the way they build us, that's an internal bookkeeping on this form.
Well, it is, but it's a commissioner's,
Yeah, but
I'm just saying.
if they don't fix it, it's their fault. They
Yeah,
gotta fix
it's their fault, but did you make the motion or am I gonna make the motion?
it. I think you need to make a motion.
Oh, I'm making the motion?
I think.
Okay, I'll make the motion to approve the dispatch contract, subject to the modification of paragraph 12 on page 3 of 7 to show the start time of, you want July 16th?
Yeah, that's when he actually started.
July 16th of 2018 for a 3-year period.
Is there a second to that?
I'll support.
Okay, any other questions or comments from the board? Any from the audience? We've been getting the 911 calls all along, so it's working fine. It's just somebody who retired and they didn't put it on the top of the heap before he left. Okay, so if there are no further questions from the board, no further questions from the audience, we need to take a roll call vote because it is a lot of money.
Dale Cason,
Yes?
Bob DiPalma,
Yes.
Patty Back,
Yes.
Dave Ack,
Yes.
Jim Christopher.
Yes.
Okay, and Kevin, you're at 2 tomorrow?
No, on jury duty tomorrow.
Oh.
You can call and get me out of it, though.
I tell you what, after you
I'll be up
find
there at
out,
7, but I
Yeah.
have to be there at, I
if you
think,
find out if you're getting back tomorrow, call me, and if you're not, I'll call Mel myself, but I'd rather do it together so you're in the loop on there, okay? And just let me know that. I forgot about the jury duty. Okay, next item on the agenda is H, to discuss the no-haz contract, and I think you all have a copy of that. The program is very popular with our residents. We have been in it since the inception of the program, and you have the contract for this year. The costs are pretty much the same. The estimate for 2019 for Groveland, if you look in the back, is $1,995.74, and then we typically pay whoever wants to go work the cleanup days, because we're supposed to supply a worker $100. So this whole program costs us like $2,500 roughly. Get 3 at the outside in a really big year. It's been very successful. I would recommend that we continue to join the program, and so I'll make a motion that we stay in the no-haz program, continue to charge $10, which is a nominal fee because if you looked in here, the actual charge is about $36 and some, $36.15 a car. and that we adopt a resolution to be in the NOAS consortium, and I've been the representative on it from the very beginning, so I guess I still would be, if that's what the board agrees.
And charge
I
$10.
said it's $10, we did them from the beginning.
Second.
Okay, any other questions or comments from the board? Any from the audience? Okay, need a roll call vote on it?
Bob DiPalma,
Yes.
Patty Back,
Yes.
Dave Ack.
Yes.
Jim Christopher,
Yes.
Dale Cason.
Yes.
We'll sign the contract and get it to them. Next item is to discuss the Master Academy class for the clerk's office. Patty, that's your item?
That is me, and that is March 19th, 20th, and 21st, and it's to continue my education for MNC. So, and it's
Michigan Municipal
Clerk, Michigan Municipal Clerk certification. And there is, it's $450 for the 3 days for registration and $79 for a hotel room. It's in Mount Pleasant. No, 3 nights, I'm sorry. Yep.
Is there a motion support?
Sure. Second.
Okay. Patty, yours was the motion.
I'll motion.
Jim, you seconded. Any other questions or comments from the board? Any from the audience? Carrie, if you take a roll call?
Patty Back,
Yes.
Dave Ack.
Yes.
Jim Christopher,
Yes.
Dale Cason,
Yes.
Bob DiPalma.
Yes. Okay, the last item on this agenda under new business is discuss the 2019 Open Minutes Act, which is where we publish the dates for the Township Board meetings and the dates for the Planning Commission and Board of Zoning Appeals. And you all have a copy of the sheet with the dates on it. I think we end up posting this on the web after we're done.
Yes, we do. And in the paper,
Mhm.
running the paper. I motion to accept the public notice as presented for 2019 for the meetings for the Township Board, Planning Commission, and Board of Zoning Appeals for Groveland Township.
Second.
Okay, any other questions or comments from the board? Any from the audience? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? It's the same as it's typically the second Monday of every month for the Township Board meetings at 7 o'clock here, unless there's a holiday on that day. And Planning Commission is every other month, January, March, May, July, September, and November, and that's on the, fourth Tuesday. And the Board of Zoning Appeals, if it's needed, is on the second Tuesday of the month, every month. But there's very few of those every year, typically. I'll say that, so now there'll be one every month this year, right?
And that'll be published in the Citizen and the Tri-Com.
So do we support that and all pass it? All right, next resolutions. I have nothing on here for resolutions tonight. Move to miscellaneous reports, and who wants to give us a report for